God, you gotta love making changes between shows, right? Isn't it the greatest thing?
Right?
Greatest thing ever.
Well, streaming. Streaming is one of those things where failure is always an option.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have I went and redid my entire audio setup a couple weeks ago. I was tired of having to like push a button over here to turn a knob over here to do something over here. Right? I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna make it simple, and it works. Well, when it works great. It just needs to work all the time. And my favorite thing is everybody going, well, it has to be something you're doing. And I'm like, no, I've literally followed every video, every tutorial. I've talked to the fucking CEO of both of these products. And they're like, yeah, this is a weird outlier thing. I'm like, of course it is. Of course it is. It's me.
Suddenly my chat is going through the system and not the chat like it's supposed to.
Interesting.
So why is Discord over here, not over there? Yeah, so the beacon, the new one should be here on the 24th.
Oh, good.
Hopefully that fixes these issues. If not, I'm gonna have to find a different solution because this is not tenable long term. I hate it. The guy's been very helpful. The dev that I've talked to has been very helpful. And we got deep into this. I mean, we were assigning process priorities to specific cores.
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, like Beacon have been pretty like they have really kind of gone at least from like the outside looking in, right? They have really gone above and beyond what I thought they would ever do.
It's still frustrating because at times like, well, the problem's obviously in your system, and I'm like, no, the problem is your device. And I've been fairly staunch on that from the very beginning. That I didn't have a problem until I plugged in your device. So, and when I unplug your device, all my problems go away. Right.
But like I said, to their credit, like them even taking the time to do that is something that not a lot of companies would do.
When I unplug the device, the problems go away.
Yeah.
With Windows 11, not so much.
Well, fair.
And they are sending me a new one, which they didn't have to do because this one is out of warranty. And I do appreciate it, and I hope that it works. I really do, because I like the product. I really do. I like it. It's easy. It's fairly easy to use.
Yeah, same. I always enjoyed Beacon products. People are like, oh well, Beacon Elgato, they're the same thing. I'm like, yes and no. They do the same thing in different ways, slightly. And really like everybody, a lot of content creators, really love Elgato products. And don't get me wrong, I own a bunch of them. I'm talking into one right now. There's one on my desk. There's one back here. Like, I enjoy their stuff. It's all right. But you also have to understand that like I needed a quick
problems with their stuff.
Right. Well, so and for me, it's like and for me, it's like I needed a quick solution like that day. In the case of like my mic, I needed a new mic that day. And I needed a new lighting solution that day, and Best Buy happened to have these.
Sure.
It's literally why I got.
You know what I mean? Bad stuff. I am, however, I will say that Wavelength 3.0 is ass.
3.0 is a mess, and I'm really off topic for a second. The 3.0 is a mess.
Not really, and because it's still used for a lot of gaming.
Yeah, true.
So it's not really off topic.
But 3.0
it doesn't find anything on my machine. It says you don't have a device at all, and the new one is supposed to be open. So
yeah.
It doesn't even see the devices.
And 3.0, I mean, I remember the first night that I used 3.0, it literally hard locked my machine.
Yeah.
Like, I was streaming, and I was talking to you, and all of a sudden, my entire machine, my memory usage shot up to 97%, and it hard locked my rig. And the worst of it is like, I run a 2 PC system to avoid that shit happening.
Right. Yeah.
And
keep talking.
And there was no explanation from them on why that was a thing. No reason, this, that, the other thing. And I was like, okay, not helpful. Not helpful. But it is what it is. They seem to have fixed it because they did put out a hot fix a couple of days later, and I haven't had the issue since. I do still occasionally get the weird crash.
Right.
Stu mentioned the weird crash to me, and I said, yeah, that's kind of what I experienced. I do still occasionally get the weird crash or hitch, but then again, that could also be because I stream my gaming PC to my streaming PC using Moonlight and Sunshine. That could also be part of it, but I haven't caught it in the act to see which one is lagging. Every time I notice it, it's usually a network error.
I've used three different iterations of it now, and it has yet to actually work. So
right, and that's the thing.
Anyway,
and that's the thing where whatever, it is what it is. So we've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Do we want to talk about the good things or the bad things first? Or
there's a list. Just go down the list.
All right. If you want to run the list, let's run the list in order. The first one that you put in here is how much do you trust sponsored videos?
Did I put that in there? Okay.
Yes, you did. What do you mean? Help me.
That's the thing. How many times, and we were literally just talking about this. Okay, I'll be down later. There's been so many times where it's been proven now where they're getting sponsored for good reviews. So after a while, I'm like, if anybody's like, if you're reviewing whatever, and they're like, by the way, we'll say if we're reviewing Marathon, because it's the hot topic right now, Bungie sponsored this video, my trust level will go down on your video.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, we can say whatever we want. And I'm not against sponsored videos. I'm really not. Get sponsored by War Thunder. Everybody else does.
Right. Hey, War Thunder. Hey.
Right.
Hey,
hi. But it calls into question things now because it's happened so much. Again, there are people out there like, yes, they sponsored this, but I'm allowed to say whatever I want. But then when they go on to give it an absolutely glowing review at the time, you start to question, yeah, but are you really saying what you want to say?
Right. Well, I remember like when Destiny 2 came out, right? And every review was glowing. And I'm like, something feels off here because I don't think we're playing the same game. Because I enjoyed what we got with Destiny 2. But I'm like, there are things that feel weird, and none of them were mentioned in any of these reviews. Come to find out that a lot of those reviews either didn't get to that point in the game and just gave the campaign a glowing review, or B, were paid off.
Right. And so it happens so much now, the question becomes, how much do you trust a sponsored video? But at the same time, content creators, especially when you get to the point where you're doing this for a job, you often need the sponsors to help keep the lights on.
Right. Well, but here's the thing. Right. There are two types of sponsored videos that seem to be prevalent these days. Right. There is X company sponsored a video about X product. Right. Mm-hmm. Or it's, I'm making a video in the sphere of X thing, so they sponsored this video, but they're not the focus of the video. The second type is pretty okay in my book, right? Or whatever. But the first type is where I start to look at it and go,
Right. If you sponsor the video and I'm doing a review of your game, it's a little suspect.
Right.
Is my whole point. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, fair. I think that, like I said, I tend to take a lot of that stuff with a grain of salt, anyways. Mostly because
at the same time you have to be like, yeah, okay, you've gone from reviewing to cheerleading, or you've gone from reviewing to just shitting on it.
Right. Now, granted, there are a few content creators I watch, like Fellhammer for 3D printing stuff, who literally has said, a company can fucking tell me, a company can send me a product, I'm going to shit all over it if I think it's bad, to the point where he actually went on record a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, talking about how he won't work with Creality anymore because Creality got caught asking him to edit his reviews.
Yeah. That's happening a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of creators in the 3D printing space talk about Creality, and which is a shame because Creality products are usually pretty solid. Are they the best? No.
No.
Are they the worst? Also
No.
not no. They are a very solid,
Yep.
middle of the road product. I have two, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. I have a Hallett 1 and I have an Ender 3 Pro.
Yep. Well, and the worst of it
Really
is like, the thing of it is like with 3D printing, especially with Creality, right? A lot of companies since Bamboo Lab have kind of taken over the like mainline part of 3D printing in the space, right? Are trying to be Bamboo Lab, and you just kind of can't, because you're chasing a success that you will never achieve by trying to copy their products.
It's the same thing we talked about in the gaming sense.
Oh yeah,
don't chase WoW.
Right. Don't chase.
You're never going to catch it, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, now to be fair, I'll sit here and tell you that Creality products are usually pretty solid, but I really want a Saturn.
Yep.
I would love to get one of the Saturn 4Ks.
Yep. My buddy's got one, and ooh boy, I want it.
The quality you get, and the good thing is the quality you get out of home 3D printing now has Games Workshop and other companies absolutely running scared.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's a good thing.
But I mean, dude, you've seen the stuff that I've printed for my Star Wars droids and all that, right? And I mean, like that. Even 5 years ago, that quality where all I have to do is take it off, sand and paint. Well, you know,
right? Yeah.
I mean, wasn't happening. So it's insane how far that space has come.
You've seen, the Hallett 1's a 2K printer.
Yeah.
Which is, to be fair, for the most part, plenty of resolution. I just want more. And you've seen the stuff I print and paint off of that.
Yeah, dude.
Printer. Now the Ender 3, you're gonna have to do some work. It's an older printer for one thing.
Yeah.
At this point, the Ender 3 is a venerable old printer that used to be everybody's first entry into larger printers.
It was mine.
Yeah. It was mine, and I still have it. But I don't do a lot of FDM anymore.
Yeah.
So most of
my stuff. Resin, yeah. When it comes to printing, yeah. When it comes to printing, most of my stuff is FDM, just because I do a lot of large scale, droid and cosplay stuff.
That's just it, though. You're doing stuff that is better and cheaper to do on an FDM printer.
Exactly.
Whereas I'm doing miniatures, bigatures, so to speak. I'm not doing large scale models, or else it goes to the Ender 3. Which is also how I found out my thermistor was broken, because I was actually trying to print a. Don't at me. This was years ago. I've had this thing for a long time. I was trying to print a large scale Hogwarts.
Nice.
And it kept sounding the alarm, the overheat alarm.
And you're like, the fuck?
I think the problem is my thermistor's burnt, and I need to replace it. I have it. I just haven't got off my butt to do it. It's like unsolder 2 wires, solder back 2 wires, done. But it's getting to those 2 wires that takes like an hour. So
Right.
But anyway, I would. That's the thing. But I've seen a lot of that in the Creality space. Creality's shot themselves in the foot, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. To the point where the only promotion I'm currently seeing that is positive for Creality printers are live streams on TikTok where they're trying to sell you ones out of the TikTok shop.
Right.
And listen, man,
the products are fine. Don't misunderstand me. The products themselves are absolutely fine.
For the most part. Some of the newer ones are they've got some problems that Creality really needs to fix, and I only think they'll be able to fix them on the software side at this point. And they seem kind of unwilling to do that, or unable to do that. I don't know which one it is. That being said, you put another topic in here about arcades and what explain.
I saw an interesting thing the other day about arcades and what actually killed them.
Okay.
Yes, I realize that there are some arcades still around, but we are nowhere near the height of the arcade mania days.
No. There used to, when I was a kid, you couldn't walk 30 feet some fucking malls without hitting an arcade.
Yeah, you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting an arcade. And the gist of it was what killed them was Street Fighter 2, but specifically Street Fighter 2 for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because at that point, before that, because Street Fighter 2 for the Nintendo was the first home game that looked almost and played almost exactly like the arcade game.
Yeah.
It was the first one, really.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat came shortly after that, and then it just spiraled out of there. And then it really died when we got to Tekken 3, because the technology had got to point. You can look at Tekken 3 arcade versus, I think it's the PS2.
Yeah.
Tekken 3.
Yeah.
And I will defy you to tell me which one is which.
Well, and the other interesting thing is that after a while, the people who were doing these arcade box titles started bringing those titles, those direct ports of those titles, to home consoles.
What was, instead of now having to go to the arcade and feed it quarters to practice, I could practice at home.
Right.
And then that just spiraled, and as the technology got better and better, and more of those games started porting to consoles.
Yep.
And it why do I, it no longer becomes a good investment for an arcade to spend thousands of dollars on a cabinet that they're not going to make their money back on.
Exactly.
Which sucks.
Exactly.
I love the arcade. I used to work in one. I worked in one for a while. It was the best
I
job
I love the arcade. Hell, we have one here. It's and Trish and I still go every once in a while.
The problem is now most of them are all it's all fighting games, and I'm like, I'm not really interested in that. I played the Jeebus out of Dragon's Lair though.
Yeah. And Seamus likes the Halo one that they have at the arcade here. It's and to be fair, it's
that is like art imitating life, imitating art, right there.
Right.
You put Halo back in the arcade, and
right.
Now you have video games as arcade cabinets.
Or what's the other one? The Guitar Hero arcade cabinets with exclusive songs to get you to go and play in the arcade.
Yeah.
But that doesn't surprise me, and
that's pretty much the gist of what actually killed it, because it killed the business paradigm. What happened.
Exactly.
Killed the business model.
Exactly. All right, now we get to move on to our favorite punching bag. I mean, video game topic. Marathon. And specifically, it's been a couple of weeks. The dust has kind of settled around it for the most part. The question that I posed is, does it look intriguing after a couple of weeks of hot fixes and updates, and now that the end game is kind of either out or coming out, does it look more intriguing?
Not out yet.
Okay.
The answer to that question for me, and I can only answer for me,
right,
is a little of column A, little of column B.
Hey, same.
It's more entertaining or more interesting to watch players playing it now.
Yes.
As they figure out a little bit things that are going on.
Yeah.
But it's also, for me, and I'm going to point to the name of this show, aggressively casual, little on the hardcore side for me. That being said, I guess if somebody gifted me a copy, or I could get it ultra cheap, I might give it another. I'm not going to give it another run, just because there are some things that look intriguing. They've done some balancing. I mean, I'll give Bungie credit on one thing, is they do seem to be actively working on it and trying to improve it and balance it better to what the community wants, not necessarily what they need. And maybe they have to walk a line here, because you can go too far.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the thing of it is, right, is like a lot of companies right now, for fear of losing a player base, are afraid to say no.
Sure.
Right, and that's.
I don't think Bungie's ever had that problem.
And I don't think Bungie's ever had that problem. But that being said, I can see where if engagement, and I'm not going to say player numbers, because we are not Bungie. We cannot say what
the full numbers. We know the Steam numbers.
Well,
and everything
right.
that I've seen indicates that the game is PC heavy.
Right, sure.
Um,
But one, we don't know we don't know the full player number story. Two, we don't know what Bungie considers to be good player numbers or whatever, right? So
Right.
I'm saying engagement, right? If a player engagement tanks below a certain level, at what point do they have a panic button they can push or a ripcord they can pull to where it's the community wants XYZ, let's give it to them.
I think Marathon was their panic button, so to speak.
Yeah. I would.
If Marathon tanks, and that's still an if, because again, we don't know the metrics that they want. I have to think though that these aren't quite the metrics that they want. That they would prefer to cross that 100K threshold on a regular basis, and they have yet to do it. So, with the game being live, the server slam did pass that threshold for a bit.
Right.
Quickly fell off.
Yeah.
But they did not pass that when it went live.
No.
So, not that I recall. I could be wrong.
Right, but
anyway,
beyond that, then
and then the real question becomes how many of those players are continuing to spend money in the cash shop?
Yeah,
because they've already altered. That was the first thing they did was change the cash shop because people were complaining.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the key to this sort of game is you've got to keep people spending money in the cash shop, keep the money coming in past the initial $40 price point, which is already paywalling to a point where in a niche market that's normally not paywalled, or that is often not paywalled. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
And this, interestingly enough, tails into the next thing that now my feed is just full of articles that say, is Marathon a success? I think the answer is it's too early to tell.
Absolutely. This is a live service title. This is not a single player game. It's not a co-op game. This is a live service title where success is driven and told in long-term stories. Right?
Yeah,
Again, long-term player engagement. But
how long can they sustain, right?
Right. And you see all of these armchair experts on fucking Twitter and YouTube and whatever and TikTok and whatever saying, well, the game can't. Bungie needs X. Shut the fuck. Bungie needs X numbers to be a success. Bungie needs this. Bungie. I'm like, really? So you work for Bungie and you know?
Right. You work for Bungie and you know this stuff, huh?
Because none of us, we can speculate. Say it's speculation, but you all state this shit like it's fact, and it drives me batty, right? You have no idea. Idea what Bungie's success numbers actually are. You have no idea.
Not even you, PT.
Right. But the point is that nobody knows. Nobody besides whoever the fuck is directing the game knows what success is or isn't. We can all sit here and speculate, but speculation is not fact.
It's not fact, right? And I think, is Marathon a success? You know what? I'd have to say moderately.
I mean, they launched a video game and a bunch of people play it, so
right. It's a moderate success. It is not a blockbuster hit by any stretch of the imagination. That would be Slay the Spire 2, by the way, for comparison.
Right.
I do think that a lot of their player base is just cannibalized out of Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Although I would agree. Some pretty big extraction streamers now picking it up.
Yeah. I caught like a guy who does a lot of extraction shooter stuff a couple of days ago. It was his first time playing the game, and I can't remember who it is, so I'm terribly sorry. I caught it on Twitch, and I was like, well, I'll see what this is like. And he was having a really good time, but also had similar criticisms to what you and I had. And this was after the nerfs they made to the NPCs. So take that for what you will. This is a guy who plays extraction shooter games pretty much exclusively. That's his chosen category to stream, and he is still saying that some of the NPCs are fun. So it is what it is. That being said,
it's very much a hardcore game, I think, too. In that sense, it's more hardcore. It's far more hardcore than Arc Raiders, for example.
Well, but look, here's the thing about that.
Temper your expectations expected.
Well, right, but here's the thing about that, right? Is that Bungie, that may have backfired on Bungie a little bit, and only because, right, and it's only because, right, like it or not, and I think we may have mentioned this before, but Arc Raiders is the template now, right?
Yeah,
Arc Raiders, right, wrong, or indifferent. Arc Raiders is the template now. I still play Arc. I play Arc at least once a week with my buddy Brian out in California. That is that is measurable engagement, right? That is quantifiable engagement. I still give them engagement at least once a week, if not more. And for that, in any live service game, is considered a massive success. For the game to have been out for 6 months, and you still have people who don't really play the type of game logging in at least once a week, that's a massive success. So Bungie catering, and maybe they weren't intentionally catering, but this is what happened, right?
Here's the thing,
they ended up catering.
Look at player charts. If you do want to look at player charts, Arc Raiders, right now, 120,000 people playing.
Right.
Marathon, 45,000 people playing. Destiny 2, 7,000 people.
Right.
Wait, hang on. I got one more here. Slay the Spire 2, 185,000 people playing.
Right.
So what does that tell us? Not a lot, really, to be honest. Nothing concrete. And again, because we don't know the numbers that Bungie needs. Now here's the thing, though. Part of me thinks that it might be good for Bungie to come out and go, hey, we're meeting some targets, we're missing some others, Yeah. You don't have to go into detail, right? But for all this speculation shit, if they come out and go, you know what, we're meeting some of these targets, we're fine. Don't be wrong, people won't shut up. But it also takes a little air out of that balloon.
Right.
Bungie is really bad about... Their PR has always been shit, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
They've never really been able to engage with the community that well. I did see one thing where somebody's like, the article was, this is not the same Bungie. And one of the devs came and listed a bunch of devs that have been there since Halo.
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
Yeah.
You guys have no control.
Right. Right. Well, and the part of that is the fact that gamers, all of us, right, seem to associate developers and management in the same bubble.
Right, and it's not.
And it's not. It's not at all. It's like any company, right? You have your customer service level people, and you have your management, and you have your executives. Right?
And I guarantee you that if we saw the game that the devs wanted to develop, we'd be having a completely different conversation.
Absolutely.
As opposed to what they were allowed to develop.
Yep, 100% agree.
But,
100%
whatever.
agree with that.
It is what it is. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I want them to succeed because I like Bungie well enough, despite all its faults. I like Destiny. I want them to be able to do Destiny 3. Right now, that doesn't seem like that's really going to be on the plate.
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I want them to be able to do Destiny 3 and to give us the grand reset that franchise deserves.
It needs. Yeah, and that it needs at this point. You called it the final shape, but yet we're still here.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Nobody wants. Part of it is there's a lot of players that just don't want to start over, and I get that.
Sure.
But
at the same time, there are a lot of players that do. And at this point, I mean, hell, Destiny Rising is a concrete example of that. Destiny Rising is a concrete example of that. Destiny Rising came out and players flocked to it. And yes, player numbers have been down, and that's why they're making a bunch of changes to Destiny Rising, which I'm going to go and check out, by the way. I'm gonna go check it out. And I might stream it. I'm definitely gonna review it.
Yeah, I need to, because I want to know. I haven't reinstalled it since the rebuild.
Because I want to know what's going on, because they've made a bunch of changes or are making a bunch of changes, and I want to know what the hell's going on, because it's either that they're doing this because engagement is down, or they're doing it because the game's about to go EOL. Like. Now that being said,
neither one of those is actually good. So,
neither one of those is a good thing. So we might as well enjoy it while we have it, because like it or not, Destiny Rising's story was pretty damn good.
It really was. I was surprised, because also a lot of times these alternate timelines don't play out well.
Yeah,
but they have done a really good job in the story of taking the lore from the point that they took it, and then taking it in a different direction while still being at least slightly familiar, without needing to be familiar. That's the great part about that story, is you could play just Destiny Rising and have never touched any other Destiny, and it wouldn't matter.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times when you see alternate timelines, you really kind of had to play it and know what the actual timeline was to understand some of the things.
Yeah, this one, no. Yeah, this one you didn't have to, which is great. Which is absolutely great.
But yeah, anyway, moving on.
We have the latest game that everyone's been talking about, at least on my timeline. For a quick reference, this is being recorded on March 18th, so we have not yet played Crimson Desert, but the review embargo dropped today. But I wanted to talk more about the controversy surrounding Crimson Desert and whether or not it's been manufactured by clout chasers. My
Sharona?
Yes. But so long story short, to keep this as brief as possible, the developers did not show the gameplay on the base Xbox Series S and the PlayStation 5 until 2 days ago. The only footage that we saw from this game was on PlayStation 5 Pro or PC. And it got a lot of people going, well, what about the base consoles? Are they going to be terrible? I mean, they can't look this good. Something's got to give. Performance has got to be blah. This, that, the other thing, right? And, Digital Foundry did them no favors by saying that, hey, we were sent a PlayStation 5 Pro to test this game on. This, that, the other thing. It was kind of a bit of a wonky showing overall for a game that was that for a lot of people, they're expecting it to be this massive, successful, game of the year style hit. And so before the review embargo dropped, that was the major controversy. Will it run well? Did the devs hide the console gameplay? All this shit, right? And every single review that came out today, by the way, was on PC.
Sure.
So that only added more fuel to this fire. Now, that being said, 2 days ago we got base PS5 console gameplay. And to be fair, it looks fine.
Well, yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's going to probably be fine.
It looks fine. That being said, the game itself, and now I will be playing the game tomorrow. When it launches, I'll be here playing the game, sharing my thoughts. I hope Cheeks will join me, depending on what time it is after we get done with your music stream on over at Half Century Track, shameless plug, and all that. But that being said, I'm not going to let the reviews that I've seen dictate my playing of the game. And
at the end of the day, you really never should, right?
Right. But we've
if you watch a review of a game, video review, let's say you watch a video review, or because it's a little bit more than reading an article, and what you see intrigues you.
Yep.
Even if they're going, man, this is terrible. If the cost is where you're willing to pay,
yep,
then try it.
and try it.
Because, which is kind of, I'm going to jump topics here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I've seen a lot of people that like when you're like, oh, this game is great, and then they play it, and then they think it sucks. They get offended. But that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Not everybody is going to like every game. It would be nice if the games I presented to my friends, they all went, oh, yes, let's play these. But that's in theory, not in theory, but in practice, that's not how that works.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. If you have something your friend's like, hey, I want to try this, and you agree to try it, well, there's some scratch your back involved too. So when that friend comes back to you and says, I want to try this game, even if you think it's something you're not going to like, give it a try.
Right. Well, opinions. I mean,
but opinions are like, you know what?
Well, sure, but
everybody has one.
Well, right, but opinions are subjective, right? It's my opinion, your opinion, their opinion, whatever. And the thing of it is like, we are.
One thing if they're like, this doesn't run, it's buggy, it crashes constantly.
Right.
That's going to give me pause. I will not deny that.
Right, but if they're like, oh, the story is this, yeah.
I think the story's weak. I think, and my classic example is the original release of No Man's Sky. People were like, oh, this game is terrible. Meanwhile, I'm over here with like 300 hours, because I thought it was fine. Was it what they promised? Really?
No, but again,
everything they promised, but
no, but
also I don't hype train. So.
Oh, right, but as we've also talked about before, they spent the past decade making up for that.
Yeah, no, that's beside the point though. Whether they made it right or not is completely beside the point because there are plenty of games that did.
Well, true.
True. And there are still games that I like that I know most of my friends look at me and go, "What?"
Fucking
and
weirdo.
There are games that you like, and I look at you and go, "What?"
Fucking
look
weirdo.
You, Power Wash Simulator 2.
It's a good game, man. It's a good game. Don't knock it till you try it, Cheeks.
Right. I have tried it, actually. It's not my style. It's not my game. Or what was the other one you were playing? Some store simulator game. I don't remember what it was.
Are you sure?
The one you sent me yesterday, the video store one, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Nostalgia.
Well, it is nostalgia for sure.
That is one. Now, apparently, by the way, because there are a lot of a lot of simulator titles like that now, but apparently that one specifically, is from what I was reading and a couple of reviews that I read and some stuff that I was watching, it doesn't have the same what people call simulator slop features that a lot of these ones that are very obviously just kind of like cobbled together do. Right. So I was like, yeah, it might be interesting to give that one a shot someday. Maybe we'll see.
Find a reviewer that thinks like you do, kind of is close to the way you do. The game has your same game tests, your same, your tastes in gaming.
Right.
Somebody that you go, okay, if this person likes a game, there's a good chance I'm going to like it.
Exactly.
If they don't like it, there's a heavy percentage that I won't.
Right.
But I still would say don't make that your end all be all.
No, yeah, right? Exactly.
If it looks interesting, give it a try. When you can, which brings me to my last topic.
Yeah.
When you can, for the first time in, God, it has to be 10 years.
Yeah.
There is a baseball game. I can't remember if it releases today or if it released tomorrow that I've been watching people play the pre-release, the pre-order, and I'm like, that looks cool. I want to play this, but I can't because it's not coming to PC.
Right.
Damn you, MLB 26 Road to the Show. First baseball game in ages that I'm like, okay.
Good job, MLB The Show. Appreciate it.
I mean, I get it on my Xbox One? Probably, but I don't spend much time on that anymore. So
right. It's one of those things
where we've actually thought about getting rid of them.
Right. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, do you really again, like that game itself is not going to sell a console for most people.
Right. I'm certainly not going to go buy an Xbox One X just to play MLB The Show.
Right.
We don't have, we have my Xbox, we have I have an S and I have the original and that's it.
Yeah.
Would I like the newer one? Sure. But again, I don't spend enough time on it to justify
Well, right. That's the thing. It's like my Series S I got from a guy who couldn't get it running. And I fixed it because I'm like, it just needed a power supply. Done.
Right.
Like, that's all it needed. Yeah.
The One and the One S.
Yeah.
And the 360 for that matter.
Right.
It's an Xbox thing, to be honest.
Right. But yeah,
my whole point is, first time in a decade, I'm like, oh, I want to play this game. Son of a
bitch. Well, and like the really funny thing is like they're like, well, the cost to put it on PC and the market and this and the other thing, and I'm like, right, but I mean, you're still going to make your money back,
right?
For the most part. I mean, come on,
you're leaving money on the table. That's
and like EA with Madden, they're like, well, we put it on PC because it's an easy port and it makes us money. I'm like, exactly, like. It makes you money. Like this would make you money, SDS. So just do it. But then again, it's also Sony, and we know how they now feel about PC titles. So, speaking of Sony and PlayStation titles, Starfield yesterday. A bunch of stuff was revealed for Starfield yesterday, including the new DLC, the Terran Armada, and the new update. Oh God, I've already forgotten the name of it. Free Lanes. Free Lanes is the free update, as it were, which allows for what they're calling cruising mode, which allows you to actually fly between planet to planet, and there are things that will take you outside of that cruising mode.
Not system to system. That's still the old warp. But it's fly faster in system.
Yeah.
It's good.
And there's things that will take you out of cruising mode, like there are like signal jammers and stuff like that. It's a really cool idea. I'm really looking forward to it.
Copy delete, which is fine.
Right, sure. There is also the DLC, which is the Terran Armada DLC, which is basically humans and robots fighting together to murder, death, kill you. Which looks amazing. They actually added some like realistic finger quotes guns this time around too. All of that looks really cool. It hits April 7th. And it comes to PlayStation 5 on the 7th as well. That being said, they also did drop the price of the base game. The price of the base game is now $50, so that you can then go and spend full price on the DLC and on the first DLC, Shattered Space, and this DLC. It's absolutely time. It's been 3 years. Yeah, it's absolutely time.
I have Shattered Space. I don't have.
I need to get Shattered Space yet, but obviously,
How do you not have Shattered Space and you're playing the Star Wars mod? It's required.
Oh, maybe I do. I guess I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't.
Genesis requires Shattered Space.
Okay, then I guess I have Shattered Space. Don't ask me, man.
Oh no.
Oh no. I didn't buy it. Whatever. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, and then Nvidia.
Boy.
Oh boy. So Nvidia announced the DLSS 5 technology, and we're at a point where where the AI is playing the game and drawing the pictures while we just watch. Let's be real here, friends. And it's impressive tech. Don't get me wrong. It's impressive tech.
Well, it is, except when it gets it wrong.
But my My God.
And when it gets it wrong, it's nightmare fuel.
My God. Well, it just, some of the pictures I saw were nuts. And the really interesting thing is that it came out today that after all of that, developers were left in the dark about DLSS 5. Here's a quote from Capcom. People were talking to Insider Gaming.
I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Right. People were talking to Insider Gaming today, and Capcom and Ubisoft both said that DLSS 5 tech was revealed to them at the same time as everybody else. And I quote, "We found out at the same time as the public," said one Ubisoft developer.
Right. Put me in a pod. Put me in the Matrix.
All right. I would gladly
be your battery.
Man, it's
a thing.
It's,
and NVIDIA on the one hand wants to say we're pulling back from AI, while meanwhile the other hand and both feet are like, fuck, we are.
Right. Well, and then the really funny thing is, like, today Jensen Huang was like, no, they have no idea. You're wrong. You're not correct. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. People think that what you're putting out ain't great. Like, and the examples you showed ain't great. No. So
some of it was cool. I'll give that the stuff. But then when you see other things, you're like, wait, what?
Like when you see the what
just totally flattens everything out, takes away all the textures and the shadows.
Well, not even that. When you see what it did to Grace from Resident Evil Requiem, like, and how they were touting that as the
one where her eyeballs kept changing like mid conversation.
No,
just
like look at the stills. Look at the still. Look at the still that's going around where it's completely changed her face and the features and made it more realistic looking. And I'm like, right, but like Capcom as artists and the design team made those choices. You don't get to just take those away from them.
You don't get to make other choices for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
Starfield ones that I saw look like the same people.
It's like if I wanted to fucking play Halo, right? But I turned on DLSS and suddenly Master Chief was SpongeBob. Like that's like that's the way that it
Patrick,
feels.
Let's go kill some Covenant.
God damn it, Cheeks.
Count it. I knew I'd get one when the show was over. It's not Cortana. Cortana's not Patrick.
Right.
I'd play that game, by the way. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. But so and then to move into more fucking controversy. Oh God, Subnautica 2. Oh. Jesus. That poor fucking video game, man. All it wants to do is come out and be successful. And we finally have a confirmed release date for early access in May. But that comes on the back of the CEO being reinstated by a judge.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that case went all kind of wrong for the company that was
Crafton done dirty, man.
Yeah.
Crafton
they got all,
absolutely got. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Absolutely insane.
Just pay the bonuses and make your truckloads of money you're gonna make off this game.
Right, you're gonna make money, so shut up and play it.
The first one was insanely popular. It's still pretty popular.
The first one is still really, and despite all the controversy, it's still really popular.
Right.
What? Like that's the thing is like you've obviously made a good game when you can have that much controversy surrounding it, and people are like, yeah, I'm still gonna play the second one.
Right.
The fuck.
So it's like.
How insane is that? That a federal judge had to step in and reinstate the CEO because even the judge was like, yeah, no, this bullshit holds no water. Like, come on now, come on.
Yeah, it was fucking
and then to nerd out for a second, Slay the Spire 2 is really damn good. really,
so here's the thing.
really good.
It looks good, but I didn't like that JRPG style of combat when it was first around, much
I
less
mean,
now.
fair.
It's not my thing.
Fair. But god damn, is that fun? Oh, if I had
the first one.
If I had more time in my day, I'd play it more. But it don't.
I mean, I played the first one. It was all right. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And this one takes all the things that you like about the first one and amps it up, turns it up to fucking 11, and then adds new shit.
This is something that when it comes up on sale, I'll probably pick it up.
Well, right, but I mean, and the thing of it is like it's at such a great price point too, like
Sure,
$25, $25 is nuts for a game of that quality.
Yeah,
like it's absolutely insane. It's so fun. Like I cannot recommend that game enough. Like if you like that like card battler, kind of turn-based JRPG, play the fucking game. It's so much fun. Play the goddamn game. That being said, the Steam Spring Sale starts tomorrow. So go fill your backlog with cheap games you'll ever play. Go spend money. Consume.
I would, but I was looking at my wish list today. There are 120 items on my wish list.
And how many of them are out?
100 of those are coming soon.
I do want to see.
I literally use the wish list as a game tracker.
Right there. Well, what Steam hopes for? Let's be real. That's absolutely what Steam hopes for.
I saved that for last because now we can nerd out.
Yeah. All right. So, we talked a couple of weeks ago as these little teasers were starting that Nathan Fillion was going around to all of the Firefly cast members and doing weird little shorts on Instagram. And for a couple of weeks, there was a bunch of speculation as to what it could be. We now know that Firefly is coming back as an animated series.
No, we don't.
Well, for the most.
No, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. They do not have anywhere to do it yet. They don't have it filmed. They haven't even pitched it yet. The last thing he said in his last video was,
"Yes,
now I'm gonna go pitch this thing."
Well, yes, but from what I have gathered in reading things
do I
since
think it will
then,
happen? Absolutely.
That post on Instagram has the day after it went live had over 12 million. Had over right. Disney is not going to pass that cash cow up. Right. They're not going to pass it up.
Well, here's the thing. Even with 12 million views, over 1 million likes, I am one of them. Million. It depends on if they look at views or likes to where they, because 1 million viewers these days is kind of.
Well, yeah, and
but it's
I'm
animated,
actually.
So it won't cost as much.
Well, that's the thing. Well,
the way the Screen Actors Guild works.
Well, and so many people were like, "Oh, animation, oh, blah blah blah," and I'm like,
the only way they can tell the story they want.
And I was like,
unless you want a lot of AI. Unless you want a lot of AI.
Well, and I said that I was like, okay, so first of all, it's been 25 years. Like, first of all, it's the only way they could do this. Second of all, setting it in between the movie or the show and the film was the only way they could do this. Unless you suddenly wanted them to retcon what happened in Serenity or say that Serenity wasn't canon.
You can tell the story that's after Serenity, but now you don't have Wash.
But that's the thing is like, let's be real. This is sci-fi. To quote Luke Skywalker, no one's ever really gone.
Serenity walked a really line of being very close to hard sci-fi.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm not to say you can't. You can. It's like a comic book. Nobody's ever really dead.
Yeah.
But to be fair too, for me, this is the preferred place to tell that story. I'm not interested in what happens after Serenity. I wasn't actually interested in Serenity.
Right.
Because
I wanted more.
Joss went back on everything that he said that movie was going to be, so that movie can go away.
Look! Don't get me wrong. I liked Serenity. I was 16 when that movie came out.
It was all right.
I loved that movie. It was great. Now, that being said, I haven't watched it in a number of years. I actually should probably go back and give it another watch.
Here's my issue with Serenity.
Yeah.
It's very simple. In the entire lead up to that, Joss kept saying this will not change anything in the continuity of the series. It takes place after the series. We will start there. And in the very first less than 10 minutes into the movie,
Yeah.
we get this conversation between Mal and the doctor. You're not part of the crew. Even my now ex-wife, who was pretty clueless about that sort of thing, went, that's not right. Because let's go back to, depending on how you watch them, I think it's episode 2, where Simon says, why did you come back for me? And Mal says, because you're part of my crew. And I'll be honest, they kind of lost me a bit right there, because you've already gone back on your promise to not change continuity.
Yeah.
And there were some other issues that I thought did change the continuity from what had gone before. And so I was just like, it's okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I like some of the characters. I dug the operative character. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I would just butcher it if I tried.
No, I get you. I get you. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I can barely pronounce Timon Houston's name. So
right. Well, and it's like so they're like they're like everything else these days. There are people who are very excited the Firefly is back. There are people who are very excited. I mean,
I'll be fairly excited when I actually see it.
And no matter but the point that I was just about to make is that, like everything else, some people take this shit too far, and there are people who are like, "Oh my god, animation! It can't be animation. Animation isn't real." And I was like,
"Oh right."
I mean. Neither
was Firefly.
Neither was Firefly. Spoiler alert. Fictional television show.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know how to tell you that.
Right. I can understand the desire to have more of the TV series itself, but here's the problem. That is exponentially more expensive now than it was then, simply because of one thing, and that is the Screen Actors Guild's rules. That series is now exponentially more expensive to cast those same people in as it was than it was then. You're going to blow your entire budget on getting either Nathan, Ellen, or Marina.
Right.
That's before you get to anyone else.
Right. One like
and you might get one or two of them for that kind of money.
Right.
But you're not going to get that entire cast.
No.
And there's only so far that an actor can agree to take a price reduction before SAG steps back in and says, no, that's bad for everybody's business.
Right.
You can't do
the other thing, and I've seen this around, and look, I am not one to ever disabuse anyone of their personal beliefs. Right? You know me. You know me for a long time.
Depends on personal belief, I guess, but for the most part.
Well, but you're right. There are people who are like, well, I'm not going to watch this because Adam Baldwin is in it.
Well,
look.
He said some kind of silly stuff.
He said some stupid shit. He's done some stupid shit. Right? But at the same time, that's a personal choice you're making. That's fine. The problem that I have with it, probably lying, number one. Number two, the problem that I have with it, right, is that you made a personal choice and then had to share it with everybody else for validation of that personal choice.
Sure. But don't we all do that? Aren't we kind of doing that right now?
Yes, but it bugs me. It bugs me. And we're doing it, well, we are doing it because we are on a show. We're talking about it in like...
Right, but that's what the show was created for.
Right, sure. But they are doing it like just as like I'm going to announce to the world.
Sure.
I get it. And I don't know why that bugs me.
Like, good for you.
Right.
Also, you're probably lying.
I'm like, I don't know why that you're right. I'm like, I don't know. And it just. Oh, and then there was somebody who got mad, and they asked for Joss Whedon's blessing. How dare they?
He created it. He owns it.
I'm like, he created it. He owns it. Like Joss Whedon or not,
they have to.
They had to.
Yeah.
Look.
You can't just go make Firefly without his blessing.
Right. They cannot just go and say, hey, we're going to make Firefly now, because Joss could sue them.
That's like saying we're going to make more Harry Potter, but we're not going to consult JK. That's not how that works.
That's not how that works, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Like, look, no matter what you think.
I don't like it to work that way. That's not how it works.
No matter what we think of Joss Whedon now, the fact of the matter is, like, he created the damn thing. He owns it. He owns the intellectual. Well, Fox owns he owns the intellectual property, but
Depends on the rights, but he still owns the basic story,
right.
the characters,
exactly.
In order to use them, you must have his permission.
Exactly. Everyone and people are caught up in semantics about that. Oh, they got his blessing. That means he's going. My favorite is the hyperbolic speculation, right? Well, they got his blessing. That means he's going to ghostwrite these episodes. No, he isn't.
They already have 2 scriptwriters, but
they already have 2 scriptwriters. Plus, Nathan, I watched.
You'll never know anyway.
If he is, you'll never know. Number 2, I watched the.
Here's how you tell. Does somebody on the show have a foot fetish? Then he's probably ghostwriting.
The thing
I would say don't at me, but you know what?
I would say you go ahead, bring it. But the other thing is that like I can't, man. I
know I'm right, Drag. I know I'm right. That's the funny
part. Nathan shouldn't have used the word blessing. Fuck all the way off.
Whatever.
Like, come on, man. Now look. Now that being said, if we get Tim Minear back, I'm okay with that. Like,
my main problem is can't get Ron Glass. However, by doing this in an animated fashion, you can get a voice actor who's pretty close.
Absolutely.
Will it be the same?
No. Well, but
at least the character can be present.
Exactly.
Without having to. And this is going to sound weird, but he can look like Shepherd Book as opposed to somebody playing the part of Shepherd Book who's not Ron Glass.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. In the same way that Mr. Mann can now play Zavala.
Yeah.
Because Zavala still looks like Zavala.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was the best way they were going to be. It was really the only way they were ever going to be pulled this off.
Absolutely.
And do I think it will happen? Yes,
absolutely.
I do. I think they'll find a spot. You've got all these people already on board. You've got writers. You've got producers. You've got everything except somewhere to put it.
Well, and let's be real, right? Disney Plus, while they are doing well in member numbers, right? They are not doing well in what is called time of engagement.
Right.
Something like this, an announcement like this, where hey, for the Firefly animated show is coming to Disney Plus, will turn that around in a fucking heartbeat.
Absolutely.
It will drive engagement. I know people. I kid you not. I've been a part of a couple of Firefly groups on Facebook since the early days of Facebook, right? And they're all fucking abuzz and everyone's losing their goddamn minds. But there are people who literally keep a Disney Plus window open on their computer 24/7 and just constantly stream Firefly.
Yeah. We call those people insane.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes, we do.
Now, see, here's the thing. I have a weird history with Firefly, sort of. I didn't actually watch it when it was first on.
Fair.
Because it was against something else I was already watching. I don't remember what it was, but there was some other show that I was already watching. And then, let me finish, Buck. Come on. Hang on. Don't at me just yet. So later, then it got canceled. So I was like, oh, well, I guess that's done. But then I found it on sale in Walmart when they released it on Blu-ray, I think, maybe DVD. I don't remember. I want to say it's a Blu-ray. I'd have to go look. But anyway, I found it for $20. That whole run thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I can eBay it for more than this if I hate it.
Right.
I still own it. I'm just going to put that out there.
Right?
And don't get me wrong. Yes, my whole point was I didn't come to Firefly when it first aired and they screwed it all up.
Right.
I did watch it originally. I have watched it in both the order that they wanted to release it in and the order that they released it in.
Yeah.
And my opinion is, had they released it in the proper order, we might not be having this discussion.
Right.
Because it would have made more sense.
Yep.
Everything would have lined up properly. But networks even then were notoriously I already talked about that. Serenity can go away and I wouldn't miss it at all. You missed that part of the conversation, actually. You weren't back yet. I have some issues with Serenity. I like parts of it. Don't get me wrong. I like certain characters in it. Yeah, but which is why I prefer the fact that they're going back to the timeline of the series before the movie happens. Now, it will be interesting to see if they can get back into that headspace with the scripts and everything else, because you do have to roll back the continuity that you did put in from Serenity, the relationships, especially with like River and Mal, because by the end of the Serenity, their relationship has really moved forward. But now you have to roll some of that back. Jane is Jane; it doesn't change. So yeah, that is what it is.
Right.
My favorite Firefire line ever was targeted at Jane.
Which one?
The next time you want to stab me in the back, stab me in the face. You do it to my face.
Yep.
I love that line because I'm
Yeah.
like, man, that makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad about that. I'm glad we can get some form of Shepherd book back if they choose, or they could choose to go to the timeline where he's left the ship, but it's still before the movie.
See, I would like to see.
That, but you've got to have you almost have to have at least a little bit of Shepherd book in there.
I was gonna say I would like to see why he left, or how he left.
Right. I think I thought they explained that in the maybe they explained it in the book, because I read the book too, because I'm that guy.
But yeah, I mean, and there are, and all of the Firefly books are fucking amazing. If you have not read them, go read them. If you haven't read the comics, they are so good. They get they are on par in terms of like a continuation or a continuation or a different take on a universe with the 90s X-Wing series.
I'm so disappointed we're not going to get that. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just break your heart?
You did. All over again. We're not going to get the Rogue Squadron movie or series.
I'm the worst. I'm sorry. I love you.
That's sad.
I love you. Would you like a Seamus hug to make it better? He will gladly offer you one.
I was like, I have to put up with Ahsoka season 2, but I don't get Rogue Squadron.
Hey, you be nice. Ahsoka season 1 was pretty damn good to me.
It's true, but we have to do this without Ray Stevenson.
I know. Well, that being said, though, the dude they got, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm okay. I'm 100% okay with that.
I'm looking forward. Yeah, for sure. I was like, ooh, good choice.
Right. All right, friends.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Firefly. I think it will happen. Technically, it's not a done deal yet. I did watch the panel.
So did I. Dude, the panel was great.
The funniest part of the panel was there at the end when he's like, real talk, live, real time, I just got a text.
Yeah.
And, from the guy who played Mr. Universe, is like, hey, good luck to you all. I'm sorry I'm dead. And then he's like, don't worry about it. We're going back to the series. You're still alive. Yeah,
right. But honestly, like the opening bit with the cue cards, I was fucking dying the first time I watched it.
That was funny. I'm Nathan Fillion. And I was
I'm
like,
Spartacus.
Before we ever got to Alan, I was like, oh, we're Spartacus in it, are we?
Right.
And it's interesting. I actually saw an interview. There was a bit on the We Were Spacemen podcast, I think, where Nathan is like, do you realize that you're like in every Disney movie now?
Yeah.
Every animated Disney movie?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, which also makes is part of what makes that series now to film it on film eventually more expensive.
Right.
Those
Well,
guys cost a lot more money than they did. All of them.
the interesting thing is that Alan was even like, he was like, it's been 25 years, and he's like, he's like, arguably, I've been in larger commercial projects. Excuse me.
25 years, but Star Wars has not displaced Firefly. He talked about that.
Right, and I was like, damn.
Level with it. It's level with it.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise
Firefly,
me either, but I was like, damn. I mean, I was like, damn, but that's awesome. Like,
Firefly, and God, people are gonna hate me for this. It's a more modern version of Star Trek: The Original Series.
yes.
It was kept alive after it died by the fan base.
Absolutely.
You know, the fan base kept Star Trek alive in a very similar manner. Hell, that Star Trek fan base is why you have conventions now.
Yeah.
You know, it's why you got that Firefly panel over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's why they are the ones that kind of started that whole nerdy con type thing. And I've been to a lot of them. Oof,
Yeah.
boy, have I?
Yeah.
On both sides of the table. So, you know, so yeah, it's kind of the same deal. The fan base has kept it alive for far longer than it technically had a right to survive, right?
Right.
You know, I'm a novel fan. Like, you know, I read exhaustively. So I've read the books. I've read the, you know. So actually, I still own the series. I still go back to it and watch my favorite episodes once in a while. I don't watch all of it. There's a few of them where I'm like, no.
Fair.
You know, just because I'm like, no, you're not, no.
I ain't going to that train again.
Right. Not every episode is an absolute rock solid winner.
No, but
it's very
most,
much. That's
most
the thing that people forget
are.
is it's very much a first season show that, in many ways, was still trying to find its legs.
Right, but when that show, well, that's the thing is like when that show hit, it hits so
it hits on
hard,
all cylinders for sure.
And the other thing with that show is it holds up really well.
It does. It absolutely holds up really well. There's a lot of people in that show that went on to do other things.
Yeah.
Supernatural, for example.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But there's a lot of people in that show that went on to do other things that still say that show was one of the best things that they've ever done.
Oh yeah. Pretty much all of them, with very little exception.
Yeah.
They have nothing but good things to say about that shoot. You know. So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Buffy, which is a completely different story.
Which.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, and a lot of them. I mean, hell, they all still chat. They all still talk.
Yeah.
And that's pretty unusual.
That's that's really unusual.
It's less unusual. I have determined that it's less unusual for a TV show than a movie, though.
Fair.
Because the Star Trek guys all still do it too. At least the next gen guys.
Yeah. The Star Trek guys do it. But yeah, that is so unheard of. So rare, and a lot of it is just because it's like working a Renaissance festival, right? You work these shows, right? And you work these shows for how long? You know, a couple of weekends, up to 2 months at a time, right? And you all get really close, and then you don't see each other for a while. Yeah,
sometimes, and then others you don't. But at the end of the day, you know, for a lot of the patrons, that's the only show they go to all year long.
Right.
So at the end of that, you know, I'll use Kansas City, for example, because that's the longest one that we did, which was 7 weekends.
Yeah.
At the end of that 7 weekends, they're very, very sad.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, next weekend, I'm down in Central, or I'm over there.
Yep.
I'm just going to the next office.
Yep.
Know? So it's one of those weird separations.
For us, we got that feeling when we would leave a show that, like the first year we did Great Lakes, we felt that way because as much as we loved being there, as much as everybody loved us, there was no guarantee that we were coming back because we were an expensive show.
Oh, absolutely.
And they were running on fumes.
There's never a guarantee you're coming back.
Unless they give
you a contract for the next year at the end of that show, which some do. It's
Yep.
very rare these
Or
days.
or if you happen to sign a multi-year deal.
Right, or if you haven't signed a multi-year deal. But
Yeah.
and there are shows, don't get me wrong, there are shows where I've been sad to leave, but usually, especially at the end of 5, 7, if anything that runs more than like 3 weekends, or really
Yeah.
more honestly, anything that runs more than 2,
Yeah.
um, I'm just so tired by the end of it
Yeah.
that it's really hard to feel much of anything other than, oh God, I just want to lay down.
Right.
Because you put a lot of energy into performing at those shows. A lot of people don't understand. You know, like, well, what? You're just sitting on stage 5 times a day. I am. It takes a lot of energy to do that. To put out that show, you are cranking energy out into the audience, hoping that you can get them to give it back to you. But still, by the end of the day, you're just exhausted from
Right.
doing that and being in character all day. Because unlike being on a TV set or a movie set, canon to canon, you're in character.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
If you're out front, if you're not backstage somewhere,
Yep.
you're on. You're on stage. The
Yep.
whole thing is a stage. All the world is a stage. That literally in this case. So by the end of the day, you're just exhausted. And after 7 or 8 weekends of that, because let's say you start at 100%. Well, the next weekend you're starting at 90%.
Right.
Weekend after that, you're starting at 80%. And then you might go down to like 60 because it starts to get exponentially more tiring because you're not recovering as much, right?
Yep.
And that's just how it works. It is what it is. And sometimes I want to feel sad for them and with them, and I just can't because I don't have the energy left.
Right.
And you just hug them, you take pictures, you tell them you see them next year. Well, in this case, at this our next fair, we will not. This is it. We're done at fair. This is it. We're coming up to our last one. I have mixed feelings about it. And not as much as I had expected, to be honest.
Right.
For many, many, many reasons.
Fair.
But even now, I can hear my voice, for example, from the beginning to this show to
Yeah.
the end of this show, and
Yeah.
I can hear the quality change
Yeah.
in my voice.
Yeah.
And so pushing that out on stage for 2 weekends, I ain't gonna be able to talk at the end of it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I need to check the calendar. Hopefully, there's not an AC in the middle of that. Although there might not be, if there is, because I have a medical procedure scheduled for 2 days after we get back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, we can. We can work around that.
They're supposed to fix some of the scar issues that I'm
Oh,
having.
good.
Which basically, gosh, this is weird, right? I probably shouldn't talk about this online, but I don't care. They're going to go. I have an old scar. Too long didn't read. I have an old scar that splits open, and it's developed calcium deposits, which are binding and catching. And it
really?
presents itself. Yeah, it presents itself like a hernia.
Okay.
Pain-wise presents itself like a hernia, and they get these adhesions, and then they pop. And then it'll get another adhesion, and it'll pop.
Yeah.
And it keeps building up these calcium deposits. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So I've got like 12 years of this built up. And they're going to go in, open the scar back up, remove all of the calcium deposits, but then I'll be left with an open wound.
Uh-huh.
That I will have to go to wound care to get closed.
Yay!
Yeah. So we'll have to walk that particular path again, which will kind of suck. Been there, done that. But in theory, then it scars up a little better this time, and I don't have that problem.
Right. Exactly.
Which would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get tired of walking around with it open.
Gee, I wouldn't know anything about that. No. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that's scheduled for like 2 days, the Tuesday after we get back.
Okay.
So if that's an aggressively casual, I'm guessing I probably won't be there.
We can play it by ear. We got plenty of time.
I can actually tell you. Hang on. It is an aggressively casual that week.
Okay, so we can play it by ear. I don't think you'll be here, but hey. All right,
I'm
Chad.
scheduled for the 26th. The aggressively casual is on the 27th.
Yeah.
Although, which is kind of nice because that's actually Memorial Day weekend, but they're not going 3 days.
Oh, interesting.
It's their second year, right?
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
there yet.
No, yeah, I forgot. I forgot it's that show.
Yeah, it's a small show. It's not the smallest we've done by any stretch of the imagination.
No, fair.
I've done shows where where the entire time the cast and crew outnumber the patrons.
Yeah.
Um,
Been there, done that.
So it's not they pushed something like, oh, I don't know, not quite 2,000 a day through the.
That ain't bad. For a first year show, that ain't bad at all. Yeah. All right, chat. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. Let's find someone to send y'all to over here. I'm going to hit this button to send you guys over to Centrifuge. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with this show. I'll be back tomorrow night here with some Crimson Desert. We love y'all. Be kind, choose joy, show love. Hang out with Cheeks tomorrow night before the show with the half-century tracks I can name over on YouTube.
Yep.
We love y'all. We'll catch you soon.
Half-century tracks, you'll find it. Peace.